What's going on, guys? It's Justin over at New England Cappers. Today I'm going to be bringing you our DFS looks for NBA and what we're kind of looking at. So if everybody doesn't know, this is the site that I use. I use this, and I also use NBA Stuffer. Mostly I'm a lot focused on number fire. There's a nice little tab. You go to NBA, you can go to projections, but I go to daily fantasy and then daily fantasy projections. It lets you change it. So right now it's on FanDuel. I focus on DraftKings. So all I do is I go here, I click DraftKings. I want main slate or classic slate. DraftKings calls it. I don't want the night slate. I want classic. So you click that. If you get premium, you can generate a lineup. I don't recommend using it anyways. This is 100% free, and it holds all the value that it needs, and it holds all the value that it uses to generate a lineup. So with that being said, next key I kind of look at, so it shows me who's playing tonight, obviously. Right now it's priced by fantasy points, high to low, which is definitely something I look at, but not something that I definitely take in consideration. But there's two things I look at. I look at that, I look at value, and then a third one would be minutes. If I want to look at who has the highest value, so if they're like what their turnover is, I guess. So if you're looking at that, like somebody's 3,300 and they're 5 times their value, you'd be looking at like 15 points and shit like that, or it goes like that along those lines. So highest turnover value, as you can see today, is Jordan Poole and Kent Bazemore. That actually changed since I last looked at it, but this is something that I want to focus on. So $6,800 with a 39.4 return, and then so Chris Paul and Valanciunas should be keys in everybody's lineup today, just due to the fact that their turnover is high, but their points are also very high. So I'm going to make a note of that. Today I would like to look at Valanciunas and Chris Paul. They just played the other day. I think they played last night actually. Did well, actually. They did play very, very well. I was impressed with it, to say the least. They played the Clippers last night, and they kept it very close, which I picked anyways to happen. I figured it would happen. You had Chris Paul and Gallinari coming against their old teams, so I expected that. But, all right, so Chris Paul and Jonas Valanciunas. All right. Those are two key guys that I'm going to look at today. Chris Paul's on not really overly priced, but that's a perfect price point for him at 5 times his value with a 40-point return. That's exactly a play that I want to see. Lonzo Ball, game term decision. If he does play, it could be a good move. Not something I'm really, really looking at, but it definitely can be something. As you see, you go down, so you have a $5,600 in cost with a 5.36 times in value and 30 points. So Jaren Jackson Jr. at the power forward position is a very good play. I'm looking for 30 points mostly, but obviously I'm going to have to take less in some positions usually, but that's just what I'm looking at. All right, 6,500 Gallinari again. I'm going to play him again. Played him last night, did very, very well, and he still has a high return, so I like that as well. Rashawn Holmes, another solid player. There is studs that you guys have to have in your lineups that everybody knows, players that are capable of putting 60 points up, that you're going to have to pay a little bit more. So some cheaper guys, Dedmon's not really a stud right now, so he's not a play that I would look at, as you can see right here. Steven Adams, yeah, he's okay. He's 26.9, but 30 is really that key market that I'm looking at. So when I go down, and I like at least a 5 return on value, but I know sometimes you have to dig a little lower, or you have to give one or the other because there's not enough on the slate, which is completely fine. But I'm just going to put Shy on a marker to watch. I'm doing this just simply on my notes on my phone. No other side piece that I'm throwing into or anything like that. Draymond Green with a 30.9 with a 4.99 at 6,200. That's a plus. I like that as well. As I mentioned, there will be some guys that you're going to have to give up for. That's just how it goes. Like some of these big guys, Anthony Davis at 48.2, that's not bad. There's nobody though. The highest projection fantasy point today, which if you look at it, so I'm looking at for 30, Devin Booker at 8,400. He's probably going to be a good play. Yeah, you might have to pay up for him a little bit, but at 40 points, with a 4.88 return on value, that's a good look. Along with Anthony Davis here, I think Davis has a good game. He's a game time decision though, which could be tough. So if he doesn't play, I may look elsewhere. Ricky Rubio, another strong play. As you can see, I'm going down here and I'm picking out guys that I see with some value, but also have a good fantasy point, and cost is okay. I mean, you're gonna look for guys like Anthony Davis, Damian Lillard at 92. He's a possible point guard option in some of my lineups. He's not something that I'm saying is a stud, and I need to have him in every lineup. LeBron, there's not. I mean, yeah, I could build a lineup around him. I'm obviously going to put him in. I might put him in a lineup or two. But Drew Holiday, he could be a plus side today. There's not a huge return of value on him as of right now, but I definitely see it. Rodney Hood, I'm staying away from today. I was on him yesterday. Buddy Hield's too much money for me. I'll put him down, but I don't believe I'm going to play him. He's not that player that I'm going to pay $500 for. But he's a possibility, I guess, when you have other shooting guard options for a lot less money that are fully capable of a high ceiling. Ingram, game time decision again with 30 fantasy points. Yeah, those are kind of the main guys that I'm looking at. The rest, I don't really. I mean, your highest fantasy point projection is probably going to be LeBron, yeah, with a 49.6, so he's probably going to be a play. But Anthony Davis with a higher return in value, he's about $1,300 less. He's exactly $1,300 less, and he's 1.4 points smaller. I mean, as far as projection wise, so that's something that I'm going to be looking at. Now to bring you over here. Not a whole lot. I'll update this so it goes today to see if it's playing today or not yet. I don't know if it'll have today. This kind of just shows you every player for stats wise. I mean, it starts with Steven Adams and it goes across. But you guys can use this one if you want. This is what I'm looking for, some more in-depth, more single games when it really, really, really comes down. But this is what I mainly look at, is this page right here. And like I said, it's 100% free. No doubt about that. Also, you can make little charts, stuff like that, update people, whatever you guys like to do. This is an Excel spreadsheet with NBA stuff or stats, number fire, DraftKings stats, and then just DraftKings. I just break it up usually as far as player-wise and what they're getting. This is from yesterday, so this kind of shows who played yesterday, what they did. DraftKings as well also shows how they played yesterday and what they did. All this information is free online, usually either number fire or NBA stuffer. That's where all this comes from. That's why it's labeled that way, so everybody knows. But yeah, thank you for coming today, checking out the video. Like, subscribe. We also have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All the handles are at New England Capper, so feel free to check those out. We post daily content. As you said, fairly new channel, but we've been doing it for a while. Just finally getting on board with YouTube and stuff like that. If you guys have any comments, questions, or anything like that, comment below. And thank you.